The Outdoor Journal. Brought to you by Shimano. Geared for performance.
On today's Outdoor Journal, we're going to cook up a heapin' helping of great Canadian North. First, you turn the oven down to a nice chilly, minus 40 degrees or so. Then, pick out a fresh piece of powder-covered Columbia Mountain, add the daredevil excitement of bobsledding with the thrill of downhill skiing in a mixing bowl. Then, instead of going downhill, you're going to go up. After a few hours, throw in a pinch of rescue and a spoonful of exploration, and serve cold on a platter of 12 feet of powdery snow. It's called backcountry mountain snowmobiling. Although the first form of snow travel involved horsepower of the canine type, snowmobiling dates back to 1920 when a Canadian named Armand Bombardier built the very first form of motorized snow vehicle. He called it the ski dog because he had intentions of it replacing the dog team. From those early days of awkward and somewhat unreliable transportation, today's snowmobiles have evolved into state-of-the-art machinery used for more than just going from point A to point B, the latest evolution being the mountain sled. To truly experience world-class sledding at its best, we travel to the Canadian West, Revelstoke, British Columbia, in the Columbia Mountain Range, the heartland of Canada's mountain backcountry. Here, snow is rarely measured in terms of inches or centimeters. It's usually yards and meters, and more often than not, there's references to body parts, like it's up to my waist or I'm in it over my head. Well, I think you get the picture. I mean, we're talking about 16 to 20 meters, folks. In US dollars, that's 60 feet. And we're going to spend the next couple of days right in the thick of it. Hosting us today will be Great Canadian Snowmobile Tours, owned and operated by a remarkable young man called Aaron Vandenbos. They tell me a snowmobile in this guy's hands is nothing short of poetry. Safety and comfort are usually the most important ingredient for a successful and enjoyable trip in the backcountry. Nothing is left to chance. Boots, gloves, helmets, and of course, expertise. All you bring is the need. The rest they look after. So that's a mountain sled.
The only difference between these sleds and a conventional trail sled is the track is a little bit longer.
What's the purpose of the longer track?
It's for better flotation on the steep snow and to go further. Okay, they have a little bit deeper lug on them.
Yep.
That's for better traction.
A
lot deeper, yeah. A lot of the shorter track sleds, they just get stuck a lot more out here.
Now, I also noticed the distance between the underside of the machine and the track is a lot greater than I've ever seen before. I mean, This thing is standing up, about 20 inches by the looks of it.
Well, what they do is the conventional machine, they put the track more inside the tunnel, and they don't need as much track sticking out. What we do is we drop the track into the snow so that it gets more snow and more traction. Another difference between the mountain sled and the conventional sled is your ski stance is a little bit narrower. You can turn a little bit easier.
What is that?
It's called a mountain bar or a grab bar. You use it for giving more leverage on the machine when you stand on the side. You can pull on that instead of having to reach all the way over.
So you actually ride it like that?
Yeah.
A lot of power, I assume?
Yeah. It's a 700cc 3-cylinder engine. They're quite high performance now. Well, they put out between 130 horsepower, 130, 140. So.
Next up, we'll go outside and try me out?
Yep. Give you a little lesson on how to ride in the snow.
I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be a real blast. Just how much experience do you need to enjoy yourself up in the mountains?
Just a couple hours to figure out how the machine works and its quirks and how to handle it, how to drive in the deep snow.
Most of the people that come up here are novices, or do you get a lot of experience there?
I deal with a lot of beginners, people that have never been on a mountain sled before.
Are you standing quite often?
Well, I find that standing gives me a little bit better balance. I can put more weight on one side to make a corner, to turn a little bit easier. Your weight transfer is very important, whether you want to put all your weight onto the back to get a little bit more traction, or keep your weight a little bit forward to keep it a little bit lighter. It's a little bit more comfortable for your back and use your legs.
Okay. So that's Revelstoke Dam?
Yeah, that's Revelstoke Dam. It was completed about mid-80s. It has a reservoir about 150 kilometers long. It's about 175 vertical feet,
Wow.
top to bottom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now that supplies power to this area?
Ironically, no, it supplies power more into BC, Vancouver, and they export most of it into the United States.
Well, isn't that weird, huh?
Yeah.
You think it'd be, you think Revelstoke would be the best lit town in the Rockies?
Yeah. No.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been riding around here for about 10 years now. We're running 20 machines this year, all different sizes for different skill level. The maximum number with 2 guides would be 12 people. A good group size is 6 people. Then we can cover a lot of ground. It's a huge area, and there's 4 or 5 huge mountains that everybody rides on. So we can ride all day long and we don't see anybody.
Like, obviously I'm doing some things wrong here. The tendency is, first of all, you panic.
Yeah.
Because the machine is starting to slip
Yeah.
away on you. And I hit the throttle and bury myself. Now, I watched you earlier on, though, out in the middle of nowhere in the field, and you were full throttle,
Yeah.
and the machine was moving.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, the idea is you want to keep your momentum up. You want to keep some speed as you're going through the powder, or you want to keep a steady throttle. What you were doing is you're going in slow, and then you're full throttle, so it was spinning the track down. Okay, so that was what's making you stuck.
So you're not getting any traction when you go through plowing through
No.
through 4 feet of powder. You're not really getting any traction. You're using momentum.
Using
to push you
momentum
along.
more than
Okay.
traction. It's just experience to know when your track is spinning and to know what to go off of. You want to keep really good balance. You want to keep really good center on the sled, that you're not going to be putting too much weight on one side or the other side. Otherwise, the machine's going to tip and it'll dig in, and then you'll get stuck that way too. Your weight transfer is very important, whether you want to put all your weight onto the back to get a little bit more traction, or keep your weight a little bit forward and to keep it a little bit lighter. When you're going through the deep snow, it takes a lot of leaning because you want to tilt the machine quite a bit, and it's really hard to sit and do that. So it's a lot easier to stand up or to put all your weight on one side. Most people, they just kind of either ride with one knee.
Yeah, I found that
Yeah.
pretty comfortable.
Yeah, this is really comfortable because on the mountain sleds, the handlebars are a little bit higher up. So you're a little bit more able to keep the snow hitting your chest instead of going into your face. A lot easier to move from side to side a lot faster rather than getting up and doing that.
Are there times when you should be sitting?
Yeah, sitting, going into the corners because you want to put a lot of weight on the front for the steering. So that's when I sit. Or when I stand up, I always lean over. Yeah, you want to keep a lot of weight on the front just for the steering.
What do you prefer? You prefer powder? You prefer this kind of stuff?
Personally, I like the deep snow like this, going downhill, making fresh tracks, because it's a little bit like dancing almost. You're just kind of flowing with the machine and the snow is coming over. I like to do that for my own fun.
All right, buddy. Coming up, my first lesson, how to survive an avalanche. Welcome back to the Outdoor Journal. We're in the backcountry of the Columbia Mountains, just outside of Revelstoke, British Columbia, getting ready for our 2-day snowmobile trek to the Alpine Outback.
Since we are going into the mountains, everybody now is carrying avalanche transceivers. What these do is they put out a signal, so that helps us find you when you're buried in an avalanche, okay? And I'm gonna give you a quick demonstration on how these things work. We have a little situation out here. We've buried a dummy for you.
So you've gone out and hidden something in the snow, obviously. and I get a prize if I find it. Is that pretty well the
You
deal?
get to keep it if you find it.
What do we do now?
Well, we determine the direction that we want to go in, so it's either going to be stronger or weaker. So you picking up anything there?
Real weak signal. That's about the direction that it seems to be the strongest, right?
Okay.
So obviously that's telling us that that's...
Somebody is very close by.
Okay, now
So we have a fairly strong signal, so we'll start to head towards that signal.
Yeah, definitely up in that direction there.
Okay.
Okay, so what are we looking for? The sound's going to get louder?
The
or-
sound's going to have to get louder,
Yeah,
and then you're...
there's definitely something coming from over there.
Okay. So what we do is just we'll go
Yeah.
straight.
Okay, it's weaker over here. Yeah, it's definitely over there then, right?
Yep.
Now, how long could somebody survive under say, an avalanche?
Well, the survival rate goes down the longer you're in there, but around 20 minutes is the point
That's
where
pretty
people
well.
start to run out of oxygen.
Yeah, because this would actually close off all the oxygen.
Yeah, it just gets right into your throat and your mouth and up your nose, everywhere.
Yeah, definitely. That way we'll turn it down a little bit.
Turn it down a bit more.
Okay. Well, that's getting strong here.
Stronger.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're within
Oh, it's here somewhere, isn't
2
it?
or 3 meters. Maybe just one more step or a little bit. You're at 1 meter now.
1 meter.
And you have a strong signal. So,
Yeah, see there's dead. Boom, right there.
Okay.
So X marks the spot.
Yeah. So take your probe
Okay.
and stick it into the snow and see what's
Just drop it
underneath
down
it.
in.
Yeah.
A lot of empty space. Okay, there's Bob. So what are we looking for?
Okay, we're gonna look for, you're gonna wanna feel with your probe what's underneath the snow.
How-
A human body is a little bit softer than a rock. And rock will kind of tank kill you really.
Let me go.
Just a little bit further.
Yeah.
You stop it right about there.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. See, it feels a little bit different in the ground, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, right there on that spot.
Okay,
Here, I'll give you that.
there you go. So we have to be a little bit careful when you get close. You don't want to cut off his head.
You buried a dummy out here, I hope.
Well, you'll
I
see it
hope.
when you get there.
Oh, there's something there. What in the... Hello? You said there was a dummy under there. You said you had a dummy buried in here.
Hey, you know what? As deep as I was down there, I heard those comments, you goons. You see something, folks, right here? Got a couple lessons here. When you're the #2 host on a TV show, these are the jobs you get. And more importantly, when the #1 host signs your paychecks, you definitely get these. I'm going back to the lodge. You guys carry on your skiing. I'm just going to go back to the lodge, have a couple beers or a coffee or something. That'll be it for
See
me.
you later, buddy.
Okay, goodbye.
That was very interesting, to say the least. It really shows the importance of today's technology and how it's improved our outdoor experiences. And it wasn't that long ago that something like this could have turned into a tragedy, obviously. So, cool. Lead the way.
It's starting to get dark now, so we should start heading towards our cabin. It's not that far. It's just a couple kilometers down the road.
We will make it before dark.
We'll just make it at dark.
This exhilarating alpine setting is beyond words during daylight hours, but I don't mind telling you that it takes on a whole different look in the dark. Those snow-covered trees turn into ice-breathing dragons. The temperature drop is phenomenal. Ah, there's the cabin, not a minute too soon. Coming up, day 2, and like they say, you ain't seen nothing, baby. Welcome back to the Outdoor Journal. It's sunrise on the Columbia Mountains, the halfway point in our climb. Although I'm no stranger to snowmobiling, and I have spent my fair share of time in the mountains, I have to tell you, Nothing has ever come close to the feeling I'm experiencing right now. But there's little time to reflect. We have to go to the top and back down again before the next sunset. There's not much I can say at this point that'll make this any more spectacular than it already is. The higher up we go, the more humbling the feeling. That is beautiful. I mean, that's a postcard. That is an absolute postcard. Unless you were out here experiencing it, it would be pretty hard to tell anybody how.
It's quite breathtaking. I just thought I'd show you these trees. They're just unreal, yeah.
They look like sculptures.
Yeah, they're snow ghosts, we call them.
Some of them are almost like towers. The snow's just packed in tight.
It's just incredible.
And they stay covered up like this for how long?
For the better part of the year. They'll start to show green again in about the end of February, March, when it starts to warm up a little bit. Yeah, they get so heavy with snow.
As beautiful as it is up here, we're looking at one of nature's most harsh environments imaginable. How anything manages to survive up here, let alone flourish, is totally beyond me. And we're not just talking trees here. Birds, mammals, and even insects lurk somewhere below the 60-foot blanket of ice and snow.
All right. Wow. Oh, we made it.
What a ride up. That is spectacular. You know, I kind of like the snow a little bit better up this high.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier to ride.
A little easier to ride. There's not as much
It's more settled down here, up here. So, well, I saved the best part for last.
Yeah.
But we cannot go any further with the machines. We have to take the snowshoes.
I figured that much. That's what they're for, huh?
Yeah, that's what I brought these babies for.
Okay. Oh, now I see why we need the snowshoes. Deep enough?
She's fairly deep here.
No kidding. This is deceiving because I thought we were on solid snow.
No, well, the machines, they sit right on top.
Okay.
Here's a pair for you.
Thank you.
A pair for me.
How far have we got to go, Aaron?
It's not that far. It's maybe about half a kilometer in.
Okay.
Are you up to it?
Oh, I doubt it.
Okay.
But I know you'll pull me through.
Oh, it's no problem. Oh, that's better already.
I notice there's quite a bit of brush up there, too. Is it pretty tight getting in?
It should be pretty tight.
Yeah.
We'll get around it, though.
Okay.
Got those things strapped on?
Yep.
Okay.
I think so. That's better.
Okay, right.
Lead the way.
Okay.
Is that us?
That's where we're going.
Wow. These things are really nice and light, these shoes.
Yeah.
This just adds to the whole experience. Snowshoeing in Canada's wilderness is one thing, but doing it on top of a snow-covered mountain, it takes on a whole new personality.
Watch yourself on this little hill.
I don't think these things were designed to climb, Aaron.
How are you doing? Don't fall into the creek.
That'd be nice. That'd work well, riding back wet.
Yeah.
This has got to be almost the very beginning of this creek. I mean, we're close to the very tip of the mountain, aren't we?
We are. Right off the snow melting into the...
What's this called?
This is Moses Creek.
Moses Creek.
Yeah.
Oh, I can understand why. Moses, top of the mountain, coming down.
Beautiful.
With the commandments and all that good stuff.
You betcha. Another small little uphill.
Oh boy. This will be a challenge, my friend.
We'll make it.
Whoa!
You have skis on.
I can't possibly imagine how anything can match the emotions and feelings that I've had throughout these past few days. But Aaron assures me that this little jewel hidden up here in the mountaintop is something that all of his guests agree is the proverbial cherry on top of the cream. Like I said, I can't imagine, but I guess we'll soon find out.
Starting to hear it. Can you hear it?
Beautiful stuff, buddy.
Here we go.
Now, is that glacial water?
Glacier water, yeah. It's not as strong now as it would be in the springtime, obviously, but
Oh, that is gorgeous.
pretty nice sight.
Wow. Here we go.
Well, what do you say we grab a bite to eat while we're
Oh, man.
around here?
Spectacular. Thank you very much for this, by the way. This is an experience of a lifetime. Well, I hope you don't mind. I'm just going to sit back and
Take it all in.
take it in, buddy. Woo.